Hey, what's going on? It's Craig from Jersey Drains. We are heading out to a customer's house that we're going to change her kitchen faucet. She described the one she has that it's rigged and has like rubber bands on it, and I don't know. She said it works, but it's funky. So I guess we'll see whatever that means when we get there. But basically, this kitchen's going to be getting renovated, so we're basically just throwing in a faucet temporarily until it gets done. So we just picked up a basic run-of-the-mill Delta. Hopefully we can just pull the one that's in there out, throw this one in, and be done with it. So that's that. All right, we're pulling up now, and stand by. We'll see what's up here. All right, so here we are. We're coming up the stairs. Let's see what we got up here. First thing I always want to check. Yeah, this is what you want to see. You want to see people that clean this out for you. The last thing you want is when you show up to somebody's house and this thing is packed to the rafters with stupid yellow ShopRite bags that they need to save like 10,000 of them for a rainy day or something. Now let's see what's going on with this faucet. All right, we got pipe cleaners. We got a rubber band on here. We got something going on here. I don't know. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do before we change a faucet, obviously, is shut the water off. Okay, so we're going to call this tip number 1. Let's pretend for a minute that this valve is stuck and we can't turn it. People are sometimes afraid to put a wrench on that. So what I'm going to show you how to do is, if that thing is stuck a little bit, it's okay to put a little bit of pressure on it. Okay, not a lot, because if you look close, this piece right here is plastic, okay? So that breaks. So you don't want to put too much pressure on it. But if it's frozen a little bit, it's fine. They don't get used that often, so a lot of times they do freeze up. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is shut the water off. Okay, go up top. Make sure it's actually off. Okay, so the water is actually off. Next thing we're gonna do is we are going to disconnect the supply lines, and we are gonna take the nuts off of the base of the faucet so we can remove it. We're going to loosen up these fasteners here, loosen the supply line. Alright, just get that a little bit loose so we can get it out. We'll just take these things out, and there goes the water. And take these things off completely. It's always the worst part, you got the water dripping in your face. It's annoying. This is what it is, I guess, right? We have all these pipe cleaners and rubber bands and whatnot, so we're going to just cut this old hose just so we don't have to deal with trying to undo all that. A little bit of water left in there. Alright, so basically we're going to try and clean this up a little with some Brillo. Try and get all that crud off of there. That'll work. These are all plastic. You don't want to over tighten these things. They do crack very easily. If you had 2 people, it does make it a little bit easier sometimes, but you know, it depends who's helping you, honestly. Because if you got a guy up there and you say, hey, is that straight? Yeah, it's straight. And then you go up there and look and you're like, it's crooked. They're like, oh yeah, it moved. You know, so if that's who your helper is, you're better off doing it by yourself. The base wrench. They make other wrenches for this. They have like these plastic red, like, I don't know, they call them like, I don't even know the name of it, but they're ridiculous. You're just gonna hurt yourself trying to use it. I mean, they don't really do the job half the time and whatever. I've had this basin wrench for like 15 years. It always does the job. I don't think you need fancy new tools to install a faucet, basically. Whatever you have will probably work. You could do this with a pair of pliers, honestly. It just makes it a little bit easier with the basin wrench, that's all. Alright, so that's that. You know, hand tight plus a quarter turn, or hand tight plus a half a turn. You don't got to crank down on these things. They have little rubber washers in there to stop it from leaking, so it's gonna get hooked. So, you know, make sure there's nothing really that's gonna stop this thing from pulling out up top. And There we go. I mean, if you're unsure about how that thing clips on there, just look at the directions. It'll simplify it for you. But there is a little guide thing on there, and it just kind of snaps in place. All right, it's just a quick rundown. Basically, you got your supplies connected. This way everything's connected up top. Sometimes you'll get a little drip of water out of here. This is the packing nut. Some people call it a grommet nut. Call it whatever you want. If it drips, you give that a little snug. Sometimes when you turn water off, some sediment gets stirred up. So there's a little screen in here. It's called the aerator. And so what's a good idea is to, before you open the faucet, take this off. Because if any sediment did get stirred up in there, you don't want it to clog in those little holes, because then your spray is going to be a little weird. So take the aerator out and then basically just flow some water. The aerator back on. Once they see it, we'll get the sprayer. And that is it. No more pipe cleaners, no more hair ties, no more rubber bands or whatever else is on there. Exactly what they wanted, a faucet that flows hot and cold water. And that's that. We got that faucet installed, we got the old one out. I'm sure when the customer gets home from work, she'll be happy. She's got a nice new faucet she can use. All right, thanks for watching. See you soon.